Good morning, everyone. I am so looking forward to maybe seeing some of you on Sunday morning. But either way, if your mum and dad or grandparents or your guardians are going to bring you to church, or even if they're not, we have got a nice surprise for you this week because, of course, it's Christmas! Now, this is my favourite, is Christmas decoration, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, he doesn't actually appear in the Bible story, sadly, but he's still a really cool guy. Now, this week, win your activity, we're going to be giving you some Smarties. And yes, you get to eat them too, and I've already eaten mine, because when you've got your Smarties, we're going to make this candle because it's Christmas and we think about Jesus as the light of the world. Now, also, we're going to hear Chrissy tell the first bit of the story this year, and it's going to be all about John the Baptist. So over to you, Chrissy.
Hi all. Do you remember over the last 2 weeks how we saw that God saved the friends in the fiery furnace and Daniel from the lion's den? Well, as our memory verse this month says, nothing is impossible with God. Our story this week is another example of this. Zechariah was a priest, and he and his wife Elizabeth loved God very much, and they obeyed his commands. They were growing old and they'd never had any children, and they were rather sad about this. Well, one day Zechariah was taking his turn on temple duty, and it was decided that he should be the one to burn the incense in the Holy of Holies. So he went in and started his duty, and suddenly there was an angel that appeared right beside the altar. Well, Zechariah was terrified. He just absolutely scared of this, and sort of cowered a bit and was rather surprised. And the angel said to him, "Look, Zechariah, don't be afraid. God has heard your prayer, and your wife Elizabeth is going to have a baby boy, and you're to call him John, and he'll bring you lots of joy, but he's a special baby. And you've got to bring him up in a special way. But he will help people turn back to God. And he'll tell them about the coming Messiah." "Oh, come on, how's this possible?" Zechariah said. "I'm an old man and Elizabeth's getting old too. It's impossible." "I am Gabriel," the angel said, "and I have been sent to give you this good news. But because you didn't believe me, you will not be able to speak until after the baby's born." And then the angel went away. Well, when Zechariah went outside, the people had realised he'd been in there a long time, but he couldn't speak. So they realised that he must have had a vision while he was in there. And when he finished his time of duty, he went back home to Elizabeth and he wrote down everything that the angel had told him. And yes, Elizabeth became pregnant, and she was just absolutely overjoyed. She was so happy, and she said, "God has done this for me. He's shown me his special favour." When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, her son was born, and everyone was so pleased for her because they knew how sad she'd been before. And of course they immediately started saying, "Oh, well, I suppose you're going to call him Zechariah, just like his dad." And she said, "No, his name's John." "John? But you've got no John in the family. And you know that we usually use family names." And Elizabeth said, "No, his name's John." Well, they turned to Zechariah and they beckoned to him. "What do you think?" And he beckoned to them to get him a writing tablet. And they gave it to him and he wrote down, "His name is John." And then suddenly he found that he could speak. And he turned to the people and he said, "Praise God, he keeps his promises. He is going to send his rescuer." And then he took the baby in his arms and he looked at him and said, "You are a very special baby, and you will go before the Lord to prepare the way for people to know God." It's an interesting story, isn't it? I wonder how you felt when you listened to it. What does it mean to prepare the people to know God? How can you tell people about God? Think about those questions this week. Perhaps you can talk to somebody at home. Have a good week. Stay safe. See you next week. God bless. Bye.